Two unverified photos, possibly artificial intelligence-generated images, are circulating on social media that appeared to show Venezuelan President Nicolás Maduro being detained by U.S. military personnel. The authenticity of the images remains unknown, and so far no credible news outlet in the United States or elsewhere in the world has confirmed their veracity. The U.S. military and the CIA have also not released any images of the alleged detention of the Venezuelan president. The images surfaced shortly after President Trump announced the capture of Maduro and his wife from Venezuela's capital in an unprecedented military action against the Caracas regime. The whereabouts of Maduro are currently unknown, and the last time he was publicly seen in the capital was during a meeting with a Chinese delegation. Visuals of that meeting were released by the Venezuelan government just hours before the reported U.S. military raid.
In the early hours of Saturday morning, the political map of Latin America was abruptly shaken. Venezuelan President Nicolás Maduro was arrested by U.S. personnel and is now expected to stand trial in the United States. Utah Republican Senator Mike Lee says he spoke directly with U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio, who confirmed that Maduro was detained during the overnight operation. Lee wrote that the military action seen across Venezuela was carried out to protect U.S. forces executing an arrest warrant, and that the operation likely falls under the president's constitutional authority to defend American personnel from imminent threats. Meanwhile, confusion and alarm grip Caracas. Venezuela's Vice President Delcy Rodriguez says the government does not know the whereabouts of President Maduro or First Lady Celia Flores. In an emotional statement broadcast on state television, Rodriguez demanded immediate proof of life from Washington, accusing the United States of carrying out an attack that she says killed government officials, military personnel, and civilians across the country.
The city that saw the birth of the liberator of the Patria Grande, that saw the birth of the greatest man of our continent, has been violated, has been attacked and assaulted in the face of this brutal situation and this brutal attack. We do not know the whereabouts of President Nicolás Maduro and the First Lady Celia Flores. We demand that the government of President Donald Trump immediate proof of life of President Maduro and the First Lady. President Maduro had already been very clear and had warned the Venezuelan people that an aggression of this nature, due to the desperation of the energy veracity of the United States, could occur. And the first thing that President Maduro said to the people of Venezuela was, "People to the streets, activated in militia, activated all plans." He has given very clear orders to the Bolivariano National Armed Forces to activate all plans in perfect military, popular, and police fusion.
As those claims spread, explosions rocked the Venezuelan capital. At least 7 blasts were reported across Caracas shortly before 2 a.m. local time, sending residents rushing into the streets as flashes lit up the night sky. Power outages were reported in parts of the city. The apparent strike lasted less than 30 minutes, but its consequences are still unfolding. President Donald Trump later confirmed the operation, announcing that the United States had carried out a large-scale strike against Venezuela, and that Maduro and his wife had been captured and removed from the country. In his first remarks since the operation, Trump told the New York Times it was, quote, "a brilliant operation." He praised what he described as extensive planning and the performance of U.S. troops, saying further questions, including whether Congress was consulted, would be addressed during a press conference at Mar-a-Lago later today. Behind the scenes, new details are emerging. Sources inside the Venezuelan opposition tell Sky News they believe Maduro's removal was not purely military, but a negotiated exit.
The Bolivarian National Armed Forces informed the entire world that in the early hours of today, January 3rd, the Venezuelan people have been subjected to the most criminal military aggression by the government of the United States of America. So far, the barbarity of the invading forces that have desecrated our sacred soil in the areas of Fuerte Tiuna, Caracas, and the states of Miranda, Aragua, and La Guaira has reached the point of striking with their missiles and rockets fired from combat helicopters into residential areas populated by civilians. We are currently gathering information regarding the wounded and the dead. In the face of this vile and cowardly attack that threatens the peace and stability of the region, we raise the strongest denunciation before the international community and all multilateral organizations so that the U.S. government is condemned for its flagrant violation of the United Nations Charter and international law. This invasion represents the greatest outrage the country has ever suffered, driven by the insatiable greed for our strategic resources. Far from any supposed fight against narcoterrorism, this deplorable action seeks to definitively force a regime change and subject us to the spurious designs of North American imperialism, trampling on the inalienable right to self-determination for which our liberators fought and which we are now called to defend with the same dignity. They have attacked us, but they will not break us. United soldiers and people, we will form an indestructible wall of resistance. Our profound calling is peace, but our enduring heritage is the constant struggle for true freedom. We who always extend our hand in genuine brotherhood, today resolutely clench our mighty fist in steadfast defense of what is rightfully ours. Let us unite, for in the unity of the people we will find the strength to resist and to triumph. In the midst of this imperial onslaught, I make a fervent call for serenity and reason, to maintain unity and calm, and in compliance with the Constitution of the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela, the Organic Law on States of Exception, and the Organic Law of National Security, we fully support the decree of a state of external commotion throughout the national territory. Consequently, the men and women of the Bolivarian National Armed Forces, following the instructions of citizen Nicolás Maduro Moros, constitutional president of the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela, our commander-in-chief, will deploy all our capabilities for the comprehensive defense of the nation, the restoration of order and peace. Therefore, we will activate across the entire spectrum of the National Geographic space and in perfect popular military police unity, the full operational readiness through the massive deployment of all land, air, naval, riverine, and missile resources. Advanced weapon systems are absolutely essential for a truly comprehensive national defense, with the primary purpose of ensuring the seamless integration of all the vital elements of national power in the critical mission to effectively confront and decisively overcome all imperial threats, thereby forming a single, unified, and formidable combat bloc. Our profound honor, unwavering duty, and rich history profoundly call upon each and every one of us to act now. Let the powerful cry of a truly free homeland resound loudly and clearly in every single corner of our beloved nation. Victory is absolutely ours because unwavering reason and profound dignity are firmly on our side. We shall most certainly prevail. Long live the homeland!
Who exactly Nicolás Maduro is and why he has long been a target of U.S. pressure adds critical context to this moment. A former bus driver turned union leader, Maduro rose through the ranks under Hugo Chavez and became president in 2013. But his rule was marked by economic collapse, hyperinflation, mass migration, and repeated allegations of election rigging and political repression. More than 8 million Venezuelans fled the country during his presidency. Relations with Washington deteriorated sharply as U.S. administrations accused Maduro of authoritarianism, corruption, and ties to drug trafficking, accusations he has repeatedly denied. Now, for the first time, the United States claims he is in custody. As dawn breaks over Caracas, questions far outnumber answers. Where exactly is Nicolás Maduro? What charges will he face? And how will Venezuela and the world respond to the removal of a sitting president by foreign force?